Hello. One of the amazing things I want to discuss today, and I've seen it so frequently, is that what happens during transition is that you have folks who are waiting for you to fail. You also have folks who know you're going to succeed beautifully. What ends up happening is that people see what they choose to see. To maintain your relationship while you're expanding your business or moving your leadership to another organization, whatever the situation is for you, in the midst of that transition, it is so imperative that you remember who you are, that you remember your own integrity, you remember your own sense of self, so that what you are bringing to the table is one, that experience of absolute freedom that transition and change brings. Because the old self doesn't fit anymore, and you haven't created the new self yet. And you can say to me that no, 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 it's the same self that goes into both. No, it isn't. Our experiences change us. Our shifts and changes in life out there cause us to deal differently. Whether we go into greater defense or we expand into greater levels of transparency and integrity, the choice is ours. So if you are going to go through this period of transition, if you're going to go through this period of expansion and change, it is so important to have a conscious awareness of your own integrity and your own transparency. Because of that, what you're bringing to the table is who you really are. What you're bringing to the table is an even higher level of awareness. And if what you present to the new people in your life, to the new folks you're being exposed to as you continue to expand your career, as you expand your life, if what you present to each of them is this person of integrity, a person who knows who he or she is, a person who is in full understanding that they're in the process of learning and growing, what you end up bringing to the table for those who choose to see it is an amazing example of effective leadership, is an amazing example of somebody who knows who he or she is and doesn't walk with that mask of having it all together, of having all the answers. There isn't a one of us who has all the answers. We can pretend we do. We can put on a mask that nobody's even having the audacity to ask a question. It's all irrelevant. None of us have all the answers. And when we let go of that illusion, when we can walk with the certainty in who we are, knowing that whatever we're presented with, we'll be able to handle that. We'll be able to deal with that. You walk into it with integrity. You walk into it with honesty and transparency. You walk into a new situation letting the world see the person you want to be. That way your reputation expands. It becomes even greater. It becomes even more solid. Because what the world is getting to see is the best of who you are, not somebody with all the answers, not somebody who has it all together. None of us have it all together. You know, there was a time in my school that I had for 19 years when students would say to me, "You're the only person we've ever met who's got it all together." And I'd say, "Yes, I do, and it's all over there in a corner." Because none of us have all the answers. None of us have it all together. We're always in process. So giving yourself permission to be human, giving yourself permission to let go of the burdens you have carried because your belief is that leadership was about carrying all the burdens of the world on your shoulders. Recognizing that's not what leadership is. That's one perspective, but it's not the actual reality of leadership. Leadership is simply saying, I am willing to bring who I am and my vision, my mission, my life purpose to the table to help my company grow in a way that best is of service, that best is doing what we were formed to do, what we were created to do. And in doing that, the reputation that you were putting out there is one that calls others to follow you, calls others to inquire, calls others to trust you, because there is no pretense. And to me, one of the greatest parts of starting over again always was I got to do it in a new way. I got to do it in a way that represented the person I wanted to be, even more than the person I was. And not that I didn't love who she was, but I knew there was more opportunity to be even better at being who I wanted to be by starting fresh, by starting new, whether that's in expanding and changing my understanding of my company, or in growing and becoming more and more capable of leading all those who will be looking to me for inspiration, for motivation, and for the culture I want to create in my organization. Because as we expand, as we grow, as we move, we expand and grow whatever culture it is we believe is best for our organization. Do that and do it in the best way possible, and watch and see what happens to your reputation. It's got no place to go but up. Have a great day.